So what do you have, Shannon?
I brought my signature page for my grants. So there is one on there that is kind of separate from all of my other grants. It's a non-competitive, the state had for everybody. It's the ELC Expanding Infrastructure Grant. I'm still finishing that one out, but it's on my signature page. All the other ones are finished. I just need the signature page so that I can submit them. So we've got a family planning grant, our immunization grant, maternal and child health, our emergency preparedness, and state formula. And the state formula grant, they told us to go ahead and leave at $7,000, but there's some legislation going through that might increase it, so I might have to do a budget revision once that gets finished. But the dollar amounts are on that signature page for each grant. We use those funds for staff time for each one of those services that we provide, to purchase the equipment that we use for it, the office supplies that we use for it, travel. We have to attend the governor's conference every year, so part of the funding for the family planning and the MCH grant pays for that, for Emily and I to do that training.
Mike's gonna be late, did you know that?
Yeah. So do we need to vote on that or just have place?
Yeah, I need a motion for that.
I need a motion for me to authorize me to sign it, yes.
There you go.
I make a motion that we authorize Clay to sign the grant application signature page for our health department.
Second.
Been moved and second that the chairman signs the agreement with for the grant application. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Today's date?
Yeah, that's fine. I have to have it turned in by the 15th, so today's date's fine, as long as it's dated prior to that.
How's your storage unit working out down there?
Really good.
I went and looked at it after the meeting last week. It's really nice.
I would like
I
to
want
see
to
something.
do one like it.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it's nice. And with that funding, the extra COVID funding, I was kind of thinking of getting a second one, because we've got enough stuff, we've got it crammed full.
Mhm.
So if I got a second one and got rid of that storage shed that's kind of falling down back there, I could get it done with that grant money. So I can get another one that's exactly the same.
Did you guys put a little air conditioner, heater, cooler in there or just
We
insulate
didn't,
it?
it's just insulated and has electrical run to it.
Okay. I think it's important that you get those insulated, because I mean, other than that, I mean, they'll get hot in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the insulation seems like it's working really well.
I would imagine it won't get super hot. I mean, not overly hot
Yeah,
in the summertime.
yeah.
With it
And the
being
way
light
he did
colored
it,
and
I can still
insulated.
open the big doors. There's a door cut into the side, but I can still open the big doors on the end, the way that he sprayed the insulation in, which is really nice. So I wasn't sure.
If you get another one, you might as well just go ahead and get a 30-footer instead of 20.
Yeah, I was, well, and
I
that
told
spot
you.
over there is big enough for it, so yeah, I think the bigger one might be a
Told
good
you
idea.
not to.
I know, but I just thought, oh, 20
I'll
foot's
never feel
huge.
that out.
Yeah, I really
Yeah.
didn't think that we would, and we did fast, so, yeah.
So you're gonna go ahead and call him and order one?
Yeah, well, once I get the
Yeah,
funding, but
yeah.
they said, so I've asked to make sure that all of it will be okay under the grant funding, but they said anything prefab, you can't use the grant for construction. But they will let us pour a concrete pad, they will let us put insulation in it, like anything to make it a usable storage is fine, they said, so. Yeah.
I don't know, he might, well, probably wait until summer to see what the temperature like in there, then we might have to put in an HVAC of some sort.
Okay.
I don't think that'd be,
You don't think so?
it wouldn't be
No.
hard to do.
But I'm just wondering if
Yeah,
there's enough,
they
Yeah.
can cut it in.
because some of that stuff, particularly the plastic, would be heat sensitive.
Yeah,
Yeah, you may just, pick a really hot day this spring when it gets, 90, and run in there with a thermometer and see how hot it is inside, but
okay.
I would imagine it won't be super bad with that insulation. it's, that's ribbed on the sides.
Mhm.
You can't see any ribbing or anything. I mean, there's this much insulation.
Yeah, I bet it'll stay down under 80.
Yeah, I bet so.
I know that there has been talk about wanting to revisit the mask order for the county. I just have a few thoughts on it. We do have 2 cases right now, which is great. We're staying low. My concern is with spring break and people potentially traveling, it may be good to keep the mask recommendation in place, just to be sure that for the next couple of weeks, we don't see a spike in cases. I don't think it's probably a bad idea to give a bit of reward by letting people not have to wear masks whenever we're under 10 cases. And I noticed that a lot of people aren't wearing them anyway, out in the grocery store or out and about. So I would like to make sure we kind of have guidelines in there if we get rid of the masks, so that if we do see a spike in cases, we have something to go back to.
I noticed that Reno County's gonna wait for another 3 more weeks.
And I think that's a good idea because incubation period is 14 days, plus there's spring break travel and what happens.
I would be comfortable with waiting 3 weeks, just to be on the safe side. And we'll have more people vaccinated by the end, hopefully. Is your list full for this go around or not?
So we're doing second doses Friday. We're doing 300 second doses. We have Johnson & Johnson vaccine. We are doing those in the office because they're smaller vials. They're 5-dose vials instead of 10-dose vials. So it's easier to be able to call 5 people and have them just come into the office and do their vaccine. So that's what we did yesterday. We did 5 in the office. We're gonna do another 5. I kind of advertised a little bit on Facebook for people to call in and get on the wait list for the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, and we've had quite a few people call. So we're kind of calling people and scheduling them as they call so that that list doesn't get too big. But we only got 100 doses. We didn't get a lot. And I don't know when we're gonna get more of that vaccine either, because since it's so new, I was surprised that we even got a shipment of it, honestly. I didn't know we were gonna get it until 2 days before it showed up, so.
Yeah. I talked to Josh here at the school, and he kind of felt like they weren't gonna make a change at the school regardless of what we did. The kids are used to it. The teachers, some may not like it, or some do like it, but he felt like they were just gonna finish out the year, as is, instead of making a change.
I think that's.
I hate to speak for him, but
probably a good
that's what he
decision.
said. But that's, he's in charge of the school, so he's gotta do what he wants on that end.
I mean, they've done really well with not having outbreaks of cases in the school, so I think it's probably good to just figure it out.
Job as a county, and I'm ready to do something different as far as requiring masks. What would be the proper way to go about that, Nita? Do we modify this resolution, or, because this is the one that we have currently?
You would have to rescind that one and redo
Another resolution.
Is there some other small counties that are, I know we visited a little bit last week, that there were some other small counties that were loosening up the
A lot of
restrictions.
counties, especially the smaller ones that I've had contact with, the county didn't mandate order anything. It was the cities that did it. So,
Well, no, we haven't mandated anything. We made recommendations.
Right, so, I mean, I don't know.
What about your region, your Kingman?
So it's Barton, Rice County, Saline County, and McPherson County that I'm in with emergency preparedness,
That's
and
the-
all of them still have their orders in place.
So is this the
Some out
latest one?
west, it seems like have lifted theirs, the ones
Yeah.
that did have them.
And there was one county that didn't pay any attention to it whatsoever, and they
Yeah,
had an explosion, so.
yeah. So,
I don't know, just as an example, one of the cases that we had just a couple of months ago did give us contacts, and they had 35 contacts. Several of those tested positive, and several of those contacts tested positive. So I mean, and it was a situation where nobody was wearing masks. So they do help, but
Yeah.
I know everybody's tired. As am I.
So here's your 3 requirements on that deal.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, all persons should be respectful and compliant with each individual business. And then the next 2, where everybody's supposed to wear a mask if they're not, can't maintain 6 foot. And then business should require their employees to wear them. Would you guys be, I mean, if we waited till the 24th, which would be basically 2 weeks, it would get us past spring break. And then maybe we could rescind this one and then put out a new one. That is basically,
The current resolution reads, all persons should be respectful and compliant of each individual business or entity's mask restrictions. B is, a person should wear a face covering when unable to maintain a 6-foot distance from other non-household individuals for a period of 15 minutes or longer. And C is, businesses within the county should require that face coverings be worn by all staff and patrons.
and what I was thinking is just do away with B and C, because if a business wants to say you gotta wear a mask, they ought to have that opinion. But I can see how spring break, this next week, we'll have more traffic coming in. But I mean, would you be happy, or I would like to have that ready to go on the 24th.
okay.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
You all right to wait 2 weeks?
Yeah, I'll give them a couple weeks to contact some other counties and see what they did.
I mean, I'm not claiming to be the health expert, that's why Shannon's here.
Yeah,
My personal opinion isn't always
yeah.
necessarily the educated thing to do, I guess, but I'm personally ready for something, so.
Yeah, I'm too.
So we'll wait a couple of weeks.
Okay, that's your evaluation, if you can look it over. If you want to talk about it, you can go into executive session. If not, can you sign off on it?
Yep.
I'd like to do executive session for 10 minutes. I'd like to do an executive session for 10 minutes to discuss non-elected personnel.
Is that a motion?
Guess that's a motion.
A second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded, we're going to executive session for non-elected personnel for 10 minutes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Cool, that's all?
We
Yeah.
appreciate you always look very professional, and
Yeah, doing a
I
good
mean,
job.
you do a good job representing the county, and we appreciate everything you do.
Thank you, appreciate that. Hopefully the wind will quit blowing now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, things
it's
are
never
growing
gonna
up.
happen.
We'll see you.
See ya.
There.
Oh, darn.
Hey, Derek.
That was a big dummy, went upstairs to the courthouse, didn't he?
Oh, sorry.
We waiting on somebody, I said, well, I think they're in secret session. He said, they don't meet there anymore.
Yeah,
I guess you haven't been?
Not for a while,
Not for a
no.
long time.
No.
My bad.
Been flying under the radar, haven't you?
Yes, sir.
It's good.
that's your evaluation.
All right.
Good job.
All right.
Keep up the good work.
I've been busy.
How's everything going out there?
Busy. We're taking
How's-
Strauss and Stafford down, the big building on Stafford, our co-op down. and-
New loader, treating you well?
Oh, yeah.
You still liking it?
I put, well, I did 200 hours, so I changed differential.
need you to sign it
Oh.
and hand it back to me.
As far as.
Did you see Marshall?
As far as filling up, you think you're filling up quicker than anticipated or slower than anticipated? I mean, how's business going? Quicker?
Well,
Is it every 3 or 5?
every 3.
3. So next year they'll
Yeah.
come out.
So Darren, if we do get some land bought, refresh my memory, we'll have to do a plan again and the testing and all of
Operating
that.
plan, ground soil stability test, well, yeah, it's, maybe a mile red tape and a lot
Yeah.
of dollars.
But, okay, that's what
How long do you think that'd all take, Darren?
Year.
A year at
it
least?
takes a long time.
Plus site prep, as far as dirt work or depending
Yeah,
on which
you know, I
direction
mean-
we go, we're gonna have to do something in the way of either moving the power line or doing site prep, smoothing hills off,
Yeah,
so.
well, and, they require all weather aggregate road or something to
Mhm.
and from pit and,
Yeah. So we're probably looking at least
Somebody to
until
dig
next
to
spring.
sell.
Yeah,
from past experiences, it costs more for consultant and engineering than it does to dig a hole.
yeah.
Is our pit out there lined?
No,
So when we have somebody dig the cell, can that be somebody local, or do you have a specialist that does
yeah,
that?
that would be low.
Yeah.
Last time we
We
had
just
it
took
bid,
bids.
we put it on for bids.
And the one who got the bid didn't anticipate,
And then they come back and want more.
Yeah.
so they had to buy, or had to rent a bulldozer to push the,
Yeah, so that cost us more than the bid.
Couldn't they wait till it dried out?
I,
I don't remember what the deal was.
They hit it.
They hit
Oh, yeah.
clay.
Seems like a simple question.
They hit it like
Yeah.
that, and it was on.
no, they only had 5 inches of rain the day before they started.
Yeah, that was kind of a mess.
Yeah, it's quite surface, but
Couldn't get any traction.
We'll get the ball rolling on that, Darren. Because if we're looking at another year, it takes one bad storm and then you're filled up with holding bag.
Okay. Yeah, I think we need to get going, because I'd hate for us to have to start telling people we can't take construction debris or something like that. And like you said, if we get a bad hailstorm, that's what fills you up quickest, isn't it?
yeah.
The
Get
cities
roofs
are doing a
replaced.
good job at tearing down dilapidated properties. I would like to keep that up.
Well, I know St. John's got about a half dozen scheduled to
Yeah.
come down.
Yeah.
And Stafford's always got something coming down, so.
Okay.
The inspector asked me if I had a steel-faced or steel-wheeled compactor, and I said, no. He said, man, he said, how'd you chew, I chew it up just as much as, it looks like toothpicks. We're not quite that good, but
Yeah.
chew it up pretty good, using Preston. And I told him, I said, I just get a big heaping bucket of dirt and I run up and down that and at an angles and turning your wheels as you climb it with good tread. I said, it just chews her up pretty good.
Right.
Yeah.
You're talking about lining the pit. It's a good thing we don't have to, because one of the examples is the time we were out at Dodge City and they were building a new cell.
Yeah.
Once they got the liner down, they had, I don't know how many people, shoulder to shoulder, walked that whole cell to make certain there wasn't anything under the liner. What was it? Nickel size or whatever it was,
and-
it wouldn't puncture the,
Well, when we got our cell done, when they were done digging it, we had to pass CQ it. And the inspector come out and looked at it, and he gave me a blueprint, showed me we had an area marked off. That's too low. This has to maintain 5 foot of the seasonal groundwater, which groundwater now is just way down below. Anyhow, it had to show on paper, so I took about probably 20 buckets of dirt, put it in that area, filled it in, they had to come out, reshoot. It passed. We're talking this much,
Mm-hmm.
you know? I told him, I said, hey, tell me something. I said, with these foam field tires, I said, if I go down in that bottom with any moisture and, you know, I sink that deep,
Yeah.
he said, it's just gotta show on paper.
You're right.
It's gotta show on paper that it was still. Yeah, they get pretty big.
okay,
All right, would you like to spin back?
you want that?
Keep up the good work, Darren.
Well, now, I stole your other pen.
Well, I've got more, I've got,
At some point, if we get to talking about the ground, Darren,
Yes.
before we do the budget next year, we might need to address that as far as extra expense, you know, having some idea of what we think stuff's gonna cost.
A lot.
Yeah. But I mean, it'd be a one-time, I mean, it'd last us another
For the rest
35,
of our
40 years,
lifetimes, Yeah.
so. Thank you, Darren.
All right,
Thanks,
thank
Darren.
Did
Do you
Marshall?
have some?
I'm just gonna confirm logistics for Friday.
Oh,
Just real
okay.
quick.
Let me go find Marshall.
Marshall didn't seem to mind that. Okay, so we are scheduled to have lunch at 11:30 at Catoosa. And Google Maps shows it takes 4 hours and 13 minutes to get there without any
What time did you say,
stopping.
11 what?
11:30.
Okay.
So I don't know what time you guys want, I mean, if you want to plan for being able to have a stop along the way, you know, or if you want to just go 4 hours. 4 hours and 15 minutes.
I'm like a 4 o'clock in the morning type of guy, so
Okay,
I'll drink coffee for an hour and a half before you guys are ready to leave anyway.
What, how many people total do we have going?
9 for sure and 1 that I need to confirm today.
So,
possibly 10.
how are we?
So what I understood from our last time was that you were willing to drive and have
I can.
capacity for, what was it, 6?
Yeah,
And then Chad was gonna drive and had capacity for 4. Now,
yeah.
I need to find a different vehicle, I can do that. I guess
No,
that's part of
that'd
the
be fine.
confirmation and everything here too. Okay. So, yeah, if you're willing to drive, I guess it's just a matter of now figuring out when you wanna leave.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. 4 hours and 15 minutes, we need to be there by 11:30. If you left at 6:30,
Okay.
that
Okay.
gets you there.
We can do that.
That
And
give you
Bob,
time to stop somewhere.
So I'll need to get biscuits and gravy before we leave then?
It doesn't matter, I'll leave
By
whenever.
yourself or, you're not?
No, I can actually get up.
No, I thought you said, I thought you said you were gonna visit friends.
I have relation down there, and if we were gonna leave at like 4 o'clock in the morning, I would go down the night before. But I'm not
Okay.
going to.
okay, so
So where are
maybe
we
we
gonna
can
meet
pick
at?
you up, well, okay, we can meet here in front of the courthouse or in front of my office or whatever. I guess, if that works,
Why don't we just park over in the parking lot?
in the
Okay.
senior center parking lot.
And we'll plan
Okay.
on leaving by 6:30?
6:30. You're coming with us from, so maybe we can pick you up in Stafford on the way.
So you can sleep an extra 15 minutes.
I could go out and stand on the edge of the highway.
Oh, well. Or you can meet us at the motel if that's shorter.
Yeah.
Or meet him at the rest stop.
Yeah. Park over there, no.
Yeah, maybe you should
Yeah.
just go downstairs.
Or you can come park at the motel and.
People talk about you all day. Why is he there?
Yeah.
Commissioner.
I'll drive the old pickup, no way.
That's how rumors start, right?
It is.
Well, we were picking up boxes at Paul's yesterday and it was asking if I was moving out, so,
And did you say yes?
yeah, I did.
Good.
It's 3 little boxes.
Feed the rumor mill.
So
We'll pick up Bob Temple in Wichita. I have yet to determine exactly, but that will be one person that will pick up on
Bob
one too,
Temple.
within that.
The
Bob
Wind
Temple.
River grain.
Oh, okay.
So do we need to leave a little bit earlier?
Well, we leave at 6.
Yeah, we can leave it at 6. It doesn't matter to me.
I'd rather have a little more time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and a 6:15 motel stop, and
Okay,
then we have time to stop in Wichita,
yeah.
Have to have a snack break.
or at least a pit stop.
Don't-
6 o'clock,
Knowing Todd will be South Hutch.
Okay.
senior center parking lot.
For, I'm gonna eat before we leave, I guarantee you that.
Whoever you ride with better have a snack
Yeah.
bag in their car.
Yeah, you don't want me to get hangry.
I can only imagine.
Who's bringing the cookies or the cinnamon?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Carolyn.
And do me the minutes.
Thanks, Rob.
I got them somewhere. I make a motion that we approve the minutes of the March 3rd, 2021 meeting.
Second?
Then move and second, we accept the minutes of March 3rd. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
Do we need this recycling agreement?
Oh, that
He
needs to
was
be
gonna
signed.
say, is that the new
Oh.
one?
Mhm.
Dang it.
Is that the one that he has
Yes.
signed? No,
No.
I
No.
gave,
Did he need
No.
to sign that?
I laid
No.
one somewhere.
No.
One of you has it.
I have.
There,
the-
Clay has it. You just need to sign it. You already approved it. Just sign it.
Okay.
Okay.
With Sunflower?
Yeah.
Um,
That's just a copy, Bryce, that you,
Oh, okay,
that
yeah.
you handed out last week. We have tax roll corrections we need approved.
Oh,
What? What'd you do?
I make a motion that we approve the tax roll correction.
second.
move and second, we accept the tax roll corrections. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
You want me to go see where Marshall is?
Marshall was right outside the door, but Mike was on the phone.
Oh,
Is Mike still on the phone?
Julie,
You can do Marshall's job evaluation real quick.
I have an evaluation.
yes, you
Yes. Nobody is exempt.
do. I think we actually have a joke on that, don't we?
Pardon?
So we have something funny on Marshall's.
no, there was no
No
comment.
smiley
This
face.
smiley
Yeah.
faces.
No. No smiley faces
No,
for you.
no smiley faces. Have you looked at this?
No,
Oh, well, here.
That's why I
be-
laid it there.
Be my, I thought you,
you've already looked at it.
I got writer's cramp.
Now I just got 2 left. Let's get in here.
I figured you guys would be a little rougher on me.
Well, we're in session, so we have to be nice.
Don't want to run
I'm
you
fine
off.
with
We like your clean shaven appearance at all times.
Yeah. If you got a pen, I'll sign it for you. What is today? 10th?
10.
10th.
You guys have been kind of busy lately, huh?
Yes, a little bit. Yep. Yeah. He's still on the phone. I do know that we're gonna have to figure something out. We've got people that are burning without calling in. We responded to one yesterday that, not sure when they started it or lit it or burned it or anything, but somebody else had called and said there was much smoke in the northwest part of the county, and so we sent a truck up there and 2 people that, and it was a bunch of hay bales that they'd lit on fire that were out there burning, no one around,
That wind was awful.
so.
That was up in my neck of the woods.
Northwest 80th and 80th Street and 80th Avenue, somewhere right around in there.
What's that?
A burn. Apparently a controlled burn at some point in time. But
I would think that anytime we have to send somebody out to check on a fire that's not called in, unless they called it in, it's like 3 days later. I mean, it's costing the county money. They're supposed to call in. I would say we start charging, sending out bills.
Pat took care of it yesterday, and I haven't talked to him since he's back on shift in Great Bend, but I'm assuming that, I don't know whether he called dispatch to find out whether they had called it in or not. So I can't answer that one yet.
Even
Still
if they,
looking.
Was it from like 3 or 4 days ago? I mean, into last week?
It could have been,
I
yeah.
believe there was one up in that area, but I'm
It very well could have been, and it could have still been burning, but
trying to think where at. That would be just north of the Zick Road there on the Dillon Road. 80th and 80th?
80th would be Dillon Road.
Dillon Road, but it's a mile north of the Zook Road.
Yeah,
So right there, the gas plant road.
yeah, somewhere up in there.
You're right.
I didn't get an exact location.
No, you
Just
just put it
leave
back
it.
in, I'll just pull it when I put it in yours.
And that's why I said I haven't, and it could have been a fire from last week, you know, that they did call in, and it's just still,
It was hay
The
bales.
yeah,
They took forever.
yeah.
Well, the one that you're here, there was still smoke coming up from a spot yesterday when we were up there.
Yeah. And last night they were concerned that it might, with the wind blowing, that it might go somewhere, so they took a truck out of Seward or Radium and went over there and kind of cleaned it up some.
it must just called somebody, because I never got that page.
Well, an individual called Kale,
The Kale ran
and
out.
Kale called Pat and said, what, do we need paged out? And Pat said, just, if you got someone else, just jump the truck and take over there and check it out, so.
I can't place it.
I can't remember. You still out there on the phone?
No, not now.
There he
He
is.
said he was pacing back and forth.
Just holding the show up.
He's back.
I make a motion that we go into executive session for 10 minutes for attorney-client privilege, including Mike, Marshall, the clerk, and the commissioners,
And Rob?
and Rob.
Second that.
Move and second, for how many minutes?
10 minutes.
Move and second, we go into executive session to discuss non-elected personnel for 10 minutes, all in favor, or attorney-client privilege for 10 minutes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
Oh, yeah.
And you're gonna be a month out.
Yeah.
Whereas if you could sell it now to a local guy, get what you want.
Yeah, and he can have it and get what he wants out of it.
So you just
Do a
do a
seal
sealed
Run
bid?
it in the paper
Okay.
and do sealed bid.
Will you tell what the minimum is on it, or,
You
I
can
don't
put
know.
that in there.
Can you? Okay.
I mean, it'd be the pits, have everybody in there and then go, well, if I'd have known it was that, I'd have bid more. So, yeah, I'd put
Yeah,
in
you
your
can
minimum.
put minimum
Okay.
bid.
Shannon was in here earlier, I think she's gonna order another storage container for out there, where Davis has trenched through the asphalt on the back, that's just filled with dirt.
Yeah, we
It's
need
maybe,
to
we're
go in
wondering
there
if you
with
guys
the pad.
could patch that or something.
Yeah, I just wanted to get it settled out and
Yeah.
then we'll get it fixed up.
Okay.
So there's some stuff in the back there that needs to be.
The work needs to be done on the front parking,
Pardon?
on the front parking in front of the building.
It probably needs some patching, I
Yeah.
believe. Well, yeah, it probably does. I
Yeah.
mean,
We'll just put it on the list.
okay.
When you guys are just sitting around not doing anything, playing cards.
Okay.
And the bridge is almost done.
We're putting the asphalt deck on the bridge this morning. We'll try to do the dirt work, try to get it open. But I wanna get some sand on that stuff before I turn it open, because if not, somebody will slide off in the ditch in that gooey stuff, because it is very slimy.
Well, I'm amazed they got it done that quickly.
It doesn't take too long on a steel bridge. We used to.
I mean, because of the weather and,
Yeah, we used to turn them out in 10 days, Clyde.
yeah.
And they didn't, they drove H-pile instead of, we used shell piling.
Mhm.
And we put cement inside of them. They didn't do that because they did this H-pile, which is, you could do either one, but most of the time around here, especially if you get up in the northeast part of the county, it's not good to do that because of the salt content. So you grab the H pile and you have that cement, so if this piling rots or rusts out, that cement's there to hold it.
So they pour like a 4 or 6 inch cap of concrete on there, and then you guys put dirt over that,
On what?
on the bridge
On
deck?
the decking?
No, we pour asphalt, we put the it's a ridge deck.
Yeah, but you guys just put asphalt straight on that, no concrete?
No, no concrete. There is some bridges that do have a concrete deck, but that have steel beams, but we didn't do that.
Okay.
This is how we've always done it. So.
Okay.
But Don came up yesterday, Kirk and Michael, and he signed off on it, so one thing I need to get him on the ball is about, so we can take the bridge tore out up north. And get that taken care of, so.
Okay.
Because we're getting into our busy time now, and I'm sure the state's gonna want it off inventory.
Oh, yeah. Had you opened that up for bids?
On what's that?
On the concrete?
No, we haven't done it, because I haven't got the plans back yet.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, we'll probably do everything below, but then, you know, work with somebody locally or some of the local contractors that do cement. We're not set up to do it.
Okay.
I mean, it takes too long and it takes special tools, and these guys have the stuff.
Okay.
What's the timeline on that dump truck? We have to put it in the paper for
Usually 2 or 3 weeks.
We usually do 2 weeks.
2 weeks. So.
We can put it on the website, put it on Facebook.
By the end of the month, for sure.
Yeah, probably, yeah, the first time, yeah.
Okay.
I might get with you or something later and see.
I don't know, yeah, I don't know what
Yeah,
it's
you
worth.
could do it.
Which one are you selling?
Huh? Yeah.
The one with
They're
the
all
Mercedes, the one with the Mercedes in it, but it'll go with the snowplow and spreader. The spreader's junk.
Yeah.
They can get rid of
If
it.
he,
66.
Yeah.
if he can put
They
it in
can haul
there,
it, they can
run it
haul
2
it,
weeks,
dump it
that
off and
covers
whatnot,
you.
so.
Yeah.
You could open them on the 31st.
Yeah. So if we open them in 3 weeks on the 31st,
Okay, we'll work on getting.
so you need to get it in the paper pretty quick.
We'll
By Monday,
we'll fit.
10 a.m.
things so they can go get the mileage and whatnot out of it, so.
Okay.
I was surprised we get the truck order this early. I was looking for next month, but he called the other day and I was.
I have this check for that. Do you want me to still hold it? You can come
Yeah,
get it?
well,
You want it
he's
now?
bringing, yeah, I'll take it now if you want. He's coming tomorrow at 9:30, unless you just want to keep it, and then come.
It's up to you.
So I can give it to Cindy to hold on to.
Okay. Roughly how many miles are on it?
Oh. I don't know. You had that, it's on
Yeah,
mileage.
I got it in my file. I got it in my file out there.
215,000.
Yeah.
No, there's more than that on it.
Times five.
But that,
306.
that's it, it's got that Mercedes-Benz motor in it. And it was a problem at first, but then we ended up getting it lined out, but it has some, it's a used truck.
Yeah.
So does our new truck it comes with the snowplow, right?
It comes with
Yeah,
some, it comes with a
spreader.
spreader, comes with all the light bar and everything. That's basically the only thing we gotta do is put the decals on it, tag on it, get the insurance on it, and,
Filled up with fuel.
yeah.
And death.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Every week.
that's the only problem with everything new.
Yeah.
Is a def.
Do you buy deaf in bulk out there, or?
No, I'm leery of that just because of contamination.
Yeah.
And I think it's, and I may be wrong, I don't know, but I think it's better to stay with the, what is it, 2 gallon jug or 2.5
Yeah.
gallon jug, just.
I don't buy it in bulk. Do you buy it in bulk?
I've talked to several people that have, and they went back to buying the 2 gallon
Did
jug.
they?
Yeah.
Because it crystallizes in your fill line,
Mhm.
I mean, in like 2 days. And then when you pump it back in,
Yeah.
you're fighting all the
Yeah.
time with it.
Yeah.
I've heard of guys buying it in like a chemical tote, you know,
Mhm.
and then having that trouble, but
And that's why I stayed with.
It's nasty
We
stuff.
actually priced it and it's just too many things and
yeah.
It's just like one of the guys, he was always putting 2.5, or 2 gallon in something. And I said, let it go down till it gets close to the empty or tells you you need to have, and quit opening that system up. Well, why? And I said, the less you open that system up, the better off we are because we, you know, less chance for contamination.
Yeah.
All right.
I got so, Phil, on the EOC building down here that you've got,
Mhm.
when you have an idea for radios and all that stuff to be hooked back up? Because storm season's coming in, so,
So, I'll just get to work on it and get it done.
okay, I
So,
just,
we got the computer and stuff, I just need to figure out who can go in there and monitor it.
yeah, because sometimes it's firemen and it's my tactical dispatchers there that go in there and stuff and take care of that part of it and
Yeah.
stuff, but it's normally, you know, it used to be him, but I think Mike Sanders does it quite a bit of it, did quite a bit of it before.
That's what Marshall told me one time.
Was Mike, and then our dispatchers and stuff do it, so we don't have to have all the we have emergency traffic come through there, but the storm stuff, we try to handle out of the EOC.
I
So it's
just
not an
need to get
overload.
somebody. The one radio is not a problem. I mean, for our channels, it's an 800 radio to get somebody to go out, mount it on the antenna, and
Yeah,
then
just-
run the coax into the building, because the others I can set right there on the desk, the table, and get out of the building fine.
Okay.
But, yeah, you're right, it does need to be done.
I just was wondering yeah, that's all.
So, yeah, hopefully things settle out a little bit, so.
Those bushes in front of the courthouse that have bagworms in them, you guys were gonna take those out?
In front of the courthouse?
That's probably not on your list, is it? I can pay somebody to do it.
No, we'll get it. I mean,
And
all I need
and
is,
then that, along that parking lot, that south parking lot,
yeah, I got that all.
yeah, but, I mean, I can pay somebody to pull those out in front of the courthouse. They just look awful. They're full of bagworms.
Because they probably just need to be dug out, don't they? Or we'll take a chain and,
Whatever.
it don't
Take
take
skid
much.
Because I
loader in
think-
there with the
I think,
chain.
No, I'm not putting a loader on that. I got my rear chewed about that member.
I
Well, I
think,
was just gonna mention that, just so you remember that.
my thought is just go back with grass, do away with all that
Yeah.
shrubbery. It's pain.
Yeah.
I can get Brandon Blakesley probably to go back in and plant it. He's gonna mow again this year. But, I mean, we just need those yanked out of there.
Okay.
They've done their duty. They've been in there a lot of years. So,
Okay. Got your to-do list, so happy trails.
oh, and there's some bags of leaves down
Oh,
the
yeah.
back stairway.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Well, we had an
The list is
issue,
getting
no, you
long.
guys need to know about this, we had to have in that back stairwell, there's like a drain down there that
Yes.
drains into the courthouse, into the basement
Mm-hmm.
with the sump pump. Well, all that quit working. So we had to have Bobby Steinmates come with a pump truck and pump that all out. And then Davis had to replace that sump pump and clean all that mess up.
Well, just a big leaf kit.
It's just a,
Plugs
yeah,
off.
it's a collector for leaves, and then it started backing up in the basement, and,
A mess, okay, say.
so anyway, we got all that taken care of.
But we need to have that door there?
I think,
Oh, the stairs?
Yeah, the outside basement door. It's
I don't know.
probably a
I
extra-
assume
Well,
so.
it has, yeah, well, you can't take a lot of stuff down through that
No.
stairway.
Yeah.
You'd be down there, I'm sure, but it's not very wide, so.
There's
yeah,
no
you-
way to
It's
keep
an
trash
egress
and
for a
leaves out of
fire.
there.
Yeah,
If there
It's
were a
just-
fire, liability,
Mhm, yeah,
You just need it just so you can have access to your
Yeah.
boiler and chiller and all that other stuff.
so, but that's all been fixed this week, so.
Yeah, because you go down those stairs by dispatch, you're taking your life in your own hands.
They're
Yeah, it's
steep.
pretty narrow, pretty steep.
Yeah.
So,
I take it you ain't never been up to the fourth floor from the
Fourth
third floor?
floor?
Yes, I
On the
have.
stairs.
Yes, I have. That must have had a very skinny,
fourth floor
Prisoners.
is bad. Yes, narrow. Anyway,
Well, back in 19,
both those stairways going up to fourth floor are narrow.
I need to go tour.
You need to experience that staircase.
Oh, yeah,
It
you-
almost
you
gives
need
me
to
a
go to the law
claustrophobic.
library.
It's-
It's narrow.
They're
Yeah.
both
Hey, I
narrow.
locked a guy in that cell, and the jail was up there when I went to work.
Yes, that's
And
the
we
law
tore it out.
library.
Yeah, I know, but I locked a guy in the cell, and we about never got him out.
Cutting to work.
Because it had a lever and.
Yeah.
you shut the
Had to
cell,
sling it
and
down
was
so you
all-
get between the
like
bars.
steel. It had a top on it, a steel top on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oops.
Was it one that you really didn't care about if you left him in there though?
You were probably just a peon then, weren't you?
No, it was the first year or two I worked. Because that's when the elevator went in.
Yeah.
And it all went down the hole and into the loader. That's before all that stuff was out front, and then into a dump truck.
Hmm.
But that stuff was the woolly burgers to cut.
I bet. They probably made it that way.
Yeah.
No hacksaw blade getting out of there.
Well, I know one guy that was a trustee, and he got around there and knocked the mortar between the blocks and then went down the stairway. And it's all covered up now, but that's what happened. He's no longer alive, but, yeah. Adam's still trooping with his jailbreak. He found him down there by Toots Car Wash.
Philip is a walking history.
Eddie, you need to write that down.
You should write a book.
Put him on the story.
Yeah, well, 43 years here.
I know. Yeah.
Don't say it.
I'm not,
You're thinking it, don't say it.
Do we have anything else?
do you have anything? I don't know.
Yes, no,
Yeah, but it'd probably need to be done in executive. Shouldn't take very long.
okay, then we want to
Just
adjourn
more
after.
awareness.
Can we do an executive session and another executive session?
You have to come out and then go back in.
Okay, but we can tell Carol that we're gonna do two, and will there be any action
You
needed
have to
taken?
go,
No, probably not.
And then you want another one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
another 10-minute one after.
for
why don't we do,
acquisition
why
of
don't we
real
do
estate.
Rob, and then,
So there will be
Come
no
back
action
in.
after yours?
No,
Okay,
and then,
yeah, you just have to go in and then come, yeah.
so we do Rob first,
yeah. Okay,
then reconvene,
yes.
then
Do
do,
it
and then
again.
we'll adjourn.
And then adjourn, but I don't think there'll be any action, so if Carol wants to go, she can.
And you have to have it on.
5 minutes,
Can
10
you
minutes,
can?
fine.
You can't do
Yeah,
two
fine.
executive
You
sessions.
can't do two at once,
You
no.
can't, so
Non-elected.
we'll have to do
or
one,
Attorney-client
Then
privilege.
come
No,
back
this would
in.
be, yours would have to be attorney-client.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
well,
I make a motion that we go into executive session for 5 minutes to discuss attorney-client privilege, including,
And then- okay.
including the commissioners, clerk, sheriff, and county attorney.
okay.
Second?
Then move and second, we go into executive session for attorney-client privilege for 5 minutes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
I would like to make a motion that we go into executive session for 10 minutes with,
Acquisition of real estate.
yeah, acquisition of real estate. And after that, we will adjourn with no action, I guess.
Second.
Attorney-client. What kind? What'd you say?
Acquisition of real estate.
Acquisition of real estate, okay. The motion is made and seconded, we go into executive session for 10 minutes for property acquisition, and then after that, we'll adjourn, so.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.